the young and the restless spoilers shock. The mystery surrounding Heather's tragic death has taken a dramatic turn, and the more Daniel investigates, the more disturbing secrets come to light. Initially, all eyes were on Sharon, who had been entangled in a series of unfortunate events and was present at the scene shortly after Heather's death. However, as the investigation deepens, another figure from the past emerges, casting doubt on Sharon's involvement: Sheila Carter, the notorious villain from The Bold and the Beautiful. Sheila's name had always carried a sense of dread in Genoa City, and her ability to evade justice for years only added to her infamy. Though Sheila had been involved in countless crimes, many believed she had disappeared or been dealt with in The Bold and the Beautiful. However, rumors had circulated that Sheila had returned, lurking in the shadows, waiting for the perfect moment to strike again. Could Heather's death be another chapter in Sheila's long history of vengeance? Heather's death had already raised eyebrows, particularly because of the strange circumstances. The entire building had experienced a sudden power outage. During the blackout, there was chaos, with no one knowing what was happening inside the darkened hallways. When the power was restored, Heather was found lying in a pool of her own blood. There were no immediate witnesses, and the initial evidence pointed toward Sharon, who had been seen acting suspiciously around the time of Heather's disappearance. But Sharon's behavior and the emerging facts didn't align. Then, there were whispers about Ripley Turner, another suspect whose past was riddled with violent outbursts. Ripley had been involved in a high-profile case years ago, making him a potential culprit. He had the motive, the capacity for violence, and the timing fit. But as Daniel dug deeper, it became increasingly clear that while Ripley had a dark history, someone else might have been pulling the strings all along, someone with an even deeper vendetta. That someone, Daniel feared, could be Sheila Carter. There were plenty of reasons why Sheila would have targeted Heather. The two had a tense relationship from the beginning. Sheila, despite being Lucy's grandmother, had never approved of Heather's attitude or the influence she held over the family. Their relationship had been rocky at best, with multiple arguments escalating over time. Heather had been outspoken about her distrust of Sheila, calling her manipulative and dangerous, a sentiment shared by many others who had crossed paths with Sheila in the past. But what Daniel didn't fully grasp until now was just how far Sheila's hatred for Heather had grown. Sheila, known for her cunning and ruthlessness, had been waiting for the perfect opportunity to strike, and the blackout provided that chance. For Sheila, this wasn't just a spur-of-the-moment attack. It was premeditated, fueled by years of pent-up rage and a desire to destroy Heather, not only to remove her from Lucy's life but also to silence her forever. As Daniel continued to uncover more information, it became harder to ignore the growing pile of evidence against Sheila. DNA samples taken from the crime scene had initially been inconclusive, leading the police to focus on Sharon. But then, something surprising came to light: traces of Sheila's DNA had been found inside the building where Heather was killed. This revelation was the turning point that sent the investigation into a new direction. Sharon, although present at the scene, had taken precautions. She had been wearing gloves, which meant she hadn't left behind any fingerprints or incriminating evidence. However, Sheila's fingerprints had been found all over the building, on the door handles, in the hallway, and even near the very spot where Heather had collapsed. The discovery of Sheila's prints raised suspicions, making it increasingly likely that Sharon had been set up, drawn into a situation she couldn't control. Sharon had been manipulated, framed by one of the most dangerous people she had ever known. And now, Sheila was out there, hiding somewhere in Genoa City, likely plotting her next move. Sharon's fear, guilt, and confusion had clouded her judgment, but now, it seemed that the truth was finally coming to light. Sheila had been watching, waiting for the right moment to strike, and Heather had been her unfortunate target. But why? Why was Sheila so determined to eliminate Heather? The answer, Daniel realized, was deeper than just a personality clash. For Sheila, this was personal. She had felt disrespected by Heather, who had made it clear that she didn't want Sheila anywhere near Lucy or their family. Heather had been a vocal opponent of Sheila's presence, fearing the danger she posed to everyone around her. Sheila, with her history of manipulation, deception, and violence, wasn't someone to be taken lightly.